Hi, I'm Carla. I'm here to talk about my ethical dilemma that I experienced last winter while I was enrolled in my practicum course at my local junior college. So what had happened was we had an outdoor classroom which we allowed all the children to play outside and inside, and there was always supervision. But there was this one little boy that was as sweet as can be, and I'll just call him Alan. Um, Alan was very creative. He was always getting dressed up. He thrived in the dramatic play area that we had. And he also thrived in playing tractors and in playing trucks and in riding the bikes that we offered. But there was one occasion where we had put out costumes for the children to play with, and there was an array of accessories that they could use. And so he decided to grab a pair of purple and blue butterfly wings. So he had put them on and he was chasing his friends around the yard while, doing the butterfly movement when his mom came in to pick him up. Oh my gosh. It was like nothing I've really ever experienced before. She had come in and saw him playing outside and walked so fast towards him and grabbed his shoulders and was like, I told you to stop acting like that. You're a boy. And at the time, I was still I was a student, so I really didn't know my role and didn't really know what exactly I could say to the mom. Um, and so ultimately, what had happened was we had let her sign him out, and then she requested to talk to the director. So the director in that case was told by the parent that she did not want him to be playing with any of that girl, and she used a bad word, and didn't want him to be able to dress up as anything, and that he was a boy and that he needed to act like one, because I'm guessing that maybe he was like was liking to dress up at home. I'm not exactly sure, but that was my experience. And ultimately, what my resolution to that conflict was that I think that the parents should be educated as to what dramatic play allows the child to learn and what the benefits of dramatic play are. And just because Alan was wearing butterfly wings doesn't mean that 5 seconds ago he wasn't climbing up a tree and playing with the tractors and doing things that boys do. So I think that definitely they could be educated into that in that knowledge and know that this is just a regular way of growing up. That he doesn't really understand gender roles and gender identity. He's still learning about who he is. He's all he knows is that, hey, I like to play with my friends and I like to chase them around and wear my butterfly wings. Um, so ultimately, what was decided was that Alan was allowed to wear butterfly wings. Not, I'm sorry, Alan was allowed to participate in dramatic play, but for the remaining time, I think it was around December, so there was only a few weeks left. Um, the director had said, okay, we will put out gender neutral costumes out there and accessories um, that Alan could take advantage of. But to take that opportunity away from him, she was not okay with. And I believe that she actually got the superintendent of the program involved as well. And I want to say, like, over a course of 2 days, they all had meetings, and the boy's father came in. And I guess they were just concerned because he was starting to do things that a typical boy wouldn't do. And I never really got that vibe from him. I never really questioned whether or not he was acting less boy because of that occasion. To me, he was just being a kid and was playing with his friends and doing what he wanted to do and expressing himself fully. And to me, that was more important than any kind of gender identity or any kind of anything. So ultimately, what this experience showed me was, there are ways to reach a resolution and back that resolution up with facts by using the code of ethical conduct, which they ultimately did. I know that she ultimately told the parents that she was not there to harm the child, and that would be emotionally harming for him because one day he's able to do what he enjoys, and the next day he's told that he can't. So I learned that the code of ethical conduct can be implemented in the classroom, not only with your colleagues, not only with the children, but also to parents and to the community because you have a responsibility to the child to protect the child, but also to the families. And that's where I think it is a little hard because you want to keep that relationship and you even want to create a relationship, but you also want to make sure that it's healthy and you're able to openly communicate with them. And actually, after that one incident, the mom was a lot more understanding. And I think that she just needed extra reassurance that he was okay. He was just doing typical child things and, to not take everything to heart and to not look into things further than what they are. So ultimately, that is what I learned. And I'm so glad this semester's done.